35 days to go for the U.S. elections, and you had U.S. President Donald Trump and Democratic challenger Joe Biden facing off in their crucial first debate today. Keeping COVID-19 protocols in mind, the two candidates did not shake hands when they entered the stage as is protocol in Cleveland. During the 90-minute debate, the president and Joe Biden debated alleged tax evasion, the COVID pandemic, race riots, and also the issue of the new Supreme Court judge. Biden took on Trump, accusing him of knowing the severity of COVID-19 early on into the pandemic but failing to warn the public. Responding to Biden, Trump said if left to him, 200 million people would have died. Trump also mocked Biden for wearing the biggest mask he's ever seen. While Biden accused Trump of misusing tax code, Trump said he paid millions of dollars as taxes. During a rather long segment that we saw on race, Biden called Trump a racist. Trump responded by saying it was the left-winged parties that propagated racial division in America. Here are some of the highlights of that debate.
Doing well that are shut down.
But just got to respond to that.
President Trump, you have begun to increasingly question the effectiveness of masks as a disease preventer. And in fact, recently you have cited the issue of waiters touching their masks and touching plates. Are you questioning
no, I think
the
masks
efficacy
are okay.
of
You have
masks?
to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to. But I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. I will say this.
Vice President Biden, go ahead, sir.
Well, masks make a big difference. His own head of the CDC said if we just wore masks between now, everybody wore masks in social distance between now and January, we'd probably save up to 100,000 lives. It matters.
And they've also said the opposite. They've also said
no serious person said the opposite.
Serious.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars. And you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you, Chris, let me just tell you something, that it was the tax laws. I don't want to pay tax. Before I came here, I was a private developer. I was a private business people. Like every other private person, unless they're stupid, they go through the laws, and that's what it is. He passed a tax bill that gave us all these privileges for depreciation and for tax credits. We build the building and we get tax credits, like the hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue. You get a massive, which, by the way, was given to me by the Obama administration, if you can believe that. Now, the man got fired right after that happened. But
Vice President Biden, you want to respond?
Yeah, I do want to respond. Look, the tax code that made him put him in a position that he pays less tax than a school teacher makes on the money a school teacher makes is because of him he says he's smart because he can take advantage of the tax code. And he does take advantage of the tax code. That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts. And I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're the worst president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
let me just tell you, Joe. I've done more in 47 months. I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe.
And let's take this across to Pratiksha Gildial, senior journalist who's joining us live from Ohio. We also have our foreign affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, getting us the latest on this. Pratiksha, to you first. Good morning, or rather good evening. A lot of opinions that are coming in on that debate, Pratiksha, many of them saying it wasn't really satisfactory, wasn't informative. You've got people saying that the debate was rather disappointing.
That's right. I mean, the jury is still out there whether it was Trump or Biden who won the debate. But one thing is for sure, I haven't seen a presidential debate like this. It's a great American tradition in the run-up to the election, which is watched by millions of people, not just in America, but across the world. And the expectations are really high. But I have to say, when I was watching the debate, it was just very aggressive, acrimonious. There was a lot of bickering. There was a lot of cross-talking. And I have to say, it was President Trump who was cross-talking more than Joe Biden. But at one point, Joe Biden lost his cool and he asked Trump to shut up. He said he's the worst president that America has had. Normally, this is not the kind of language you get to hear in settings like this, but I have to say we are not living in normal times. America is facing the country is so divided at the moment that Trump supporters, no matter what no matter what controversies keep coming up, no matter what scandals keep coming up, they fervently support Donald Trump. And Joe Biden tried to take him on some other issues like the coronavirus and climate change and the Supreme Court justice. But Trump has a way of just cross-talking and he's a former television star. He knows how to sort of, just completely take over.
And I want to take this across to Geeta. As Pratiksha said, Geeta, we've perhaps not seen such an ugly debate ever when it comes to the US presidential debates. There was a lot of, tit for tat. There was a lot of bickering, a lot of personal jibes as well. And in the process of that, the jury is still out on who really aced this first debate.
Well, that's right, Akshita. Now, there have been ugly debates in the past as well. We saw Hillary Trump and Hillary and Trump debate, which was quite a thing in the past presidential election, but not like this, because back then President Trump was not as confident as he is this time around, having taken office. So this is not normal. This is one of the most abnormal, so to say, debates that we've come across. All the issues that were to be discussed, all we saw was like Pratiksha said, not just cross-talking. He talked over the anchor, Chris Wallace, also to the extent that at some point Chris Wallace actually had to remind Donald Trump that he was not debating Chris Wallace, that the man he was debating was Joe Biden. That's how ugly the entire debate really was. And in terms of content, you see, there weren't real statistics, facts that Donald Trump was really talking on.
Yes.
Very specific to India, there were only 2 references, very negative. He spoke about countries that are hiding numbers, and in that he referred to Russia, China, and likened India to those countries. And then again, throwing up dirt, another reference that he made to Russia, China, and added India to the list. So really not a very happy reference.
Yes.
For India. Having said that, this certainly is one of the ugliest debates, like Pratiksha said, and we are going to see more of that in the coming weeks.
And not informative at all. It was more about personal jibes. It was more about barbs and bickering. So it wasn't informative at all. Let's hope that changes in the second debate.